Hey there, in this video, I will be showing you a method of traveling with an Elytra that does not use fireworks. Now, I did think up of this, but it may not be completely original, just other people might have thought up of it. So here we go. We have the 3 items that you're going to need for it, other than an Elytra. You have the trident, Riptide 3 is the best. And so, the trident and the ice, that's the main way that this method works. And the pickaxe, you need to make sure it does not have silk touch. So here are my keybinds. So now, of course, you don't need to be able to switch easily between the 3 items, but it's going to make the whole process a lot easier to be able to hotkey in between the 3. So now we're just going to put on some armor and the Elytra. You're going to want you're going to want the Elytra, and I tend to keep my Elytra off unless if I'm flying. So here we go. This is the main premise of how this method works. We place down an ice, and then we can break it with the pickaxe, and then we're going to charge up the trident, and as we release it, press space as fast as possible so that we can take off with the Elytra. So now, as we can get back, and I can show you that distance was actually, with the trident, was actually a whole lot further than you're going to get from one rocket. So now here, we can see, we're going to see what the difference is. So, let me pull up the coordinates. So, right here, we're at -50 on the x-axis right now. So now if we test with a firework, so we're at -50 right now, and then see how far we go. Alright, so here we go. As we get to the ground, you can see we get from -50 to -530 or so, so it's around 480 blocks. Now none of this is scientific or anything, it's just to get an approximation. So now, with the trident, as we're falling, I can mention another benefit of using this method instead of the rockets, is that ice is a whole lot easier to get than gunpowder for the fireworks, especially early game. But then later on, just all the tediousness of having to craft up fireworks and everything, I just find it easier to use the trident. So now as we get closer, we can see that alright, here we go. We can see our coordinates -1860 or so. So it's around 1330 or so, about something like that. So we can see. But I would still recommend carrying fireworks on yourself in case if you get into any precarious situations. Because if you're in any situation where you need to power yourself, such as in the end, right here, let's say you use the trident and you get yourself out, but then you find that you can't land. If you just had the trident, you'd be doomed. So I recommend still carrying some rockets on you at all times. Though it's not necessary, especially if you're not in the end. And next, I can show you what this would look like playing on a real survival world. So this is just a survival server with some of my friends. So you're going to start out, and it really can just be from anywhere. You're going to place down the ice, and then as we go, I want to talk about a few other benefits of using ice. One of them is that, let's say that you come into get to like an ocean. Hopefully you'll get to an ocean later on. You're going to be able to travel a whole lot faster and not have to use up any ice or any other of the material, whereas if you had rockets, you'd still just have to use up rockets. So I think there's an ocean soon. see if the chunks load in. Alright, so here we go. Once we get to the ocean, now I'm going to take off the depth strider boots because you go faster in the water. And now you can just propel yourself along really fast, even faster than what rockets are going to get you. So it's another benefit. And so now I can show you another benefit, is that if you say you run out of rockets, or in this case, instead, if you'd be running out of ice, then, and you had no ways of propelling yourself with the trident, you still do have a way. You just have to find naturally spawning water pools or any sources of water. Whereas rockets, if you run out of rockets, if you're using that as your method of travel, you're sort of doomed. You have to walk. Or just climb up on hills. Now, here we go. And one final benefit that is specific to if you are PvPing. So say if you're PvPing, you've got your chest plate on. Now you can get out of the way, and then you can change your chest plate to an Elytra mid-air. And this just means that you don't have the danger of having your chest plate like removed during combat. You're out of the way when you changed into an Elytra. So now this is basically everything that I have. It's mainly, the main idea of this video is just to use Elytra, and instead of using fireworks, you can use the trident and ice with a pickaxe. And that's everything.